Okay, hello guys, and for this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a script to extract the love to the API for ZeroBrane Studio. As you can see here, uh, math.random_seed is highlighted green because math is a Lua library, but love.graphics that set default filter is not. Even though ZeroBrane Studio supports love, it still doesn't highlight the love API. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. If you in ZeroBrane Studio installation folder, if you will check this inspect and then lua.lua, if you open this file, you will see at the end that there is a string or string literal that handles all the highlighted words. Here is bit32 and here is math.ups, math.acos, math.async. So the math library is here. So if we will add also another string literal here, and inside that is the love API, then we can highlight love API. So I don't know why self is not highlighted here. Yep, self is not highlighted here, so let's just never mind, we'll not add that. Okay, so what we can do is go to API, go to Lua, and here you can see the love to the table. This is used for the reference. Okay, so for the reference, for the for looking up the functions inside the ZeroBrane Studio. So what we can do is go to highlight everything, use Ctrl A, and then go to edit and code folding and fold all. So you can see we have here about 7,479 or 79 lines of table for this local log. So we need to copy that, paste it in a new file, as you can see here. So here is the whole love API with for reference, and then let's do return love. Okay, so we want to return that the table, so when we require it, so let's create a folder name, just use extract love API like that. Inside this folder, create the love to the love API trimmed. No, not trimmed, just love API. Okay. So next we're going to make the actual script. Okay. So local. Let's just name it extractor. That will be a table, and then return that. So this is how I make a module, and this is how also Kikito suggests that we all do when we're making a library or a module for Lua. Let's name this extractor.lua. Okay, so inside we're going to make a function. Let's name this extractor dot run. Then we're going to need an input and an output argument. Then inside that, let's just create, we want to require that input. Okay, and then local output equals to output. So next, what we want to do is, as you can see here, we want to iterate each of the contents of this love table, but the only content of this love table is this child's table. So what we want to do is have a loop for let's name this namespace, and then names T for table, and then in pairs, and then the input. Okay, so let me explain for a little bit. When we require something, it will return this whole file, but since we have a local table here, and then we return the table, returns that table, so the value of input will be a table. So we want to iterate each of that, and then so we only have childs, right? So we need to add childs there, and then another for loop. Let's name this for kb in pairs, and then what we want to do is, as you can see here in the audio, so this one, what we want to have this audio, and then inside that is childs, and then the actual the last part of the love to the API, which is like this, love that audio that new audio, something like that. Okay, so this is the part that we want, this is the string that we want. So for kb in pairs, we want to get t, and then childs as well, do, and then the actual saved file. But as you will notice, not everything has child's table. There are table that does not have any child, so what we want to do is check first if that child means if that particular table exists, then continue. Okay, so another thing is we have this distance model, right? But distance model is not actually written as, or you can use love that audio that distance model. There's no such thing as that in love API. What this is a under enums or enums type or enumerations, as well as source, and that. So we don't want to include that, right? We don't want to. So what we need is for each, we want to check if, let's say, if not, check first character, and then let's put in an argument as a v or k, then proceed. So we're going to make this function, right? So we want to check if the first character, this is the, if this is the key, and if we convert that into to string, we will get the key, and then we will check if that key, if that character is a uppercase letter. Okay, so let's create that first. So local function check first character, then we want a string. Okay, so we want a uppercase. We want to wait, so I'm going to type this, and then I'm going to explain. Then upper. Okay, so we're going to get the first character of this string with sub 11, means the first index, the first character, and then apply upper function to that. So if that will change to uppercase, so if that's a small letter c, that will be an uppercase letter c. Okay, next, and then we need to return if string sub 11 is equals to uppercase. So this will either return true or false. So if the actual first letter for our first character of the string is lowercase, and then that is not equals to the uppercase version of that letter, then we can proceed here, because we have this not syntax here. Okay, so next what we want to do is let's see, I want to make a, we can actually just use this and proceed, but I want to make a GUI or a simple love app where we can just drag and drop the file. So for debugging, let's io std out the set vbuff to no, so we can get the output in the terminal. The next, what we want is we want to require that script, so extractor is equals to require extractor, and then next we want a function love.load, and inside that we want to file system that set identity. You can name this into whatever you want, but I'm just going to name this extracted. Okay, so what set identity does is it changes the default saving folder of love. Okay, so graphics. Next is what I want to do is just make something for color, and then love.graphics.print file name. Okay, so we need to make that color. So first it is black, so 00255, and then local file name will be, and starting is none. Okay, so we have next is the love.file drop. So this is the handler for when a file is dropped in the love to the window. Okay, so what we want is when we drop something, we want to change the color, so that will help us test this. And then what we want is file name is equals to let's see. Okay, let's just print first the file, and then let's create another one, because I believe with Sublime Text 3 I can still output into the command line unless I do this for configuration. Okay, so when we run this, we see none, and then if we drop this love API here, it says, see, the file we drop is a table, so it is a file, right? It is a file, but what we want is a string. If we check with get file name, if we use that and then drop it again there, as you can see now it is a path, but we can't use this whole path because what we only want is the file name, which is love-api.lua. So to get around that, we want to extract that. So I'm going to make a table, file names, or just name this strings. Okay, just name this file names. Okay, for the meantime, then file names will be equals to a table. So I will explain this later. So, but for now, I'm just going to type the code file get file name, and then match that with regular expression, which is dot dash, and then parentheses, then another parentheses, bracket, and then raise exponent, and escape character, a bracket, and this one there, and then a percent sign. So I'm going to be honest, I don't understand regex or regular expression that much, but this is taken. So this code is just got this from Stack Overflow. I will explain this in a while. Okay, so what I've done is we convert that into a string, so we don't need to string anymore because file get name returns a string, and then we use this regular expression to match it to extract parts of that file name string. So, and then since this will return 3 strings, we need to put this inside a table. So just like here, if we don't put this into a table, color will only be 0, and then these values will be discarded. So what we want is put everything inside into a table. Okay, so let me just okay, there we go. As you can see, if I try this and drag it, as you can see, we have 3 strings, right? We have 3 contents of the table: the path and the name and the extension. So what we want is the file name, which is always second to the last of the maximum, or the maximum number of that table. So what we want to do is file name is equals to file names, and then get that max file names, and then minus subtract 1, so we always get the second to the last one. And then in our extractor, we need to pass that file name as the input, and then the output will be just output. I'll just name this output Lua, okay, or output the text that doesn't. So okay, output the Lua. So here, if we pass file name, when we pass it, it's going to be love API.lua. It has this extension Lua, but we don't want that, because when we require something, we don't need to include that Lua, because when you require something, it is automatically required to be a Lua file. So if we include this here, this will give us an error. So I will show you. See if we get this error, right? We get this error about love API Lua can't be found in, and this error is always about requiring stuff. So what we want to do is create another function here, and then remove extension. Okay, so we need a string, and then we need to return that string, but the modified string, so match. Then what we want to do is this is the regular expression for removing. Totally I don't understand how this works, but I will study that later. But for now, let's just use this. Okay, so this will work. So we need to create another variable here called file. So this is for the file itself. So if that file doesn't exist, or if that file does not exist yet, output. Else, if that file does not exist yet, let's create a file. Love that file system, that a new file, then name that file output. Else, if that file already exists, let's remove that. System remove. Let's delete that file. And then just copy paste this over here. There you go. And then what we want to do is, since that is already there, we need to open that file. And then we want to file system that write to that output file, and then the beginning, which will be the first of the literal. I'm sorry if it's noisy, but bear with me. So we want is at the end. So wait, I will explain this. So wait, we want append. Don't forget that this is now append, not write, because we don't want to overwrite the file. We just want to append or continue from the last line. And then after this, we now close the file. Okay, so as you can see, we need a file like this file with this. So this will always be in the beginning and the end of the file. So that's why we do this and this one. Okay, for now, let's go back here again. We want here, for the first for loop, we want to get this love and then this audio, right? So to do that, local string or str is equals to love, so that is already given love, and then dot, and then we want to append the name of that namespace, this one. So this will be, the output of this will be love.audio dot, and then love.audio dot graphics dot something. Okay, so that is string 1 for each iteration. But next, if love.audio has a child table, okay, this is child's table, and then inside that we after that, the table inside here, the distance model is not enums but rather a like this, like set velocity. So the first letter is small. We need to get that as well. So string 2 is equals to string. So we're using to string to make sure it's safe. Okay, R and N. Okay, so this will be just like sample set distance or set velocity, and then enter, which is like that, enter. So if you're in Linux or Mac, you can just use \n, but for Windows we need this \r. Then if that is done, we want to actually write that into the file. Don't forget, it's append, not write. So output, what we want is combine string 1 with string 2. So the output of that will be love.audio or love.graphics.draw and so on. Okay, there we go. This is pretty much working. So let's try this. Let's run this. Then I'm going to drop the file here. Since we're just... Okay, wait. Oh yeah, because we forgot to use that remove extension function there. There we go. As you can see, if we load this, the application will like be unresponsive, because I mean that's like 7,000 lines of table, so that took a while. So it's now done, so we can close that. And if you can see in our name of your PC and update a roaming love, and then you can see here is the set identity, which is extracted, and as you can see, here's the output.lua file, and there we go. We extracted what we need. So let's go ahead and copy all of that and put that in ZeroBrane spec and then Lua. At the end, let's put that. Let's try this and save that. So I'm pretty sure that will work, so I can close that. And then let's open ZeroBrane Studio again. And as you can see, there we go. We have here, it's already syntax highlighted. Pretty neat, right? So you can add others just by including, yep, self is not that play. I'm just trying, okay? Self.player. Okay, self is not highlighted. That is so pretty lame. So I want to add that for, okay, in my, and yeah, wait, I'll just add self there, okay? I don't know why it's not included, but let's just include this here. There we go. As you can see, that's it. So this is I'm going to upload the file, the output file, the extracted file in GitHub repo, as well as this script or in this little GUI. So you don't have to make this at all. You don't have to run this. You don't have to extract this, get this, copy paste this, and then drag and drop it here. You can just get the file. You can just copy paste the file in this file. You can just copy and paste that and put that. But if you want to make something else, like improve this window and make this a full-fledged GUI and something like that, it's up to you, but it's open source. Okay, so I hope you find this very, if not educational, just something worth your time. So I'll just name this Love API Extractor for ZeroBrane Studio. And then as always, I want to say like by Brandon Blanker. That's my name. And you can follow me with in Plan Endless. There we go. So there you go. See ya.